sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, good morning. I don't know why our overlay is not up there. There we go, correct that. Good morning, Lady Jen. She was first this morning. AVA comes in at second. Good morning. Native Pride. She Hunts. Good morning. Karen's Books. Good morning. I hope you guys are all having a good day. It is it's a good day here. I've got my window open, nice breeze. It's gonna be warm though. Uh, uh, I'm downloading a video as we go. I recorded a video and that'll be out tomorrow. I've been really trying to mix it up between videos and lives. You don't want to do too, like some people just do only lives, some people only do videos. It's really better if you do a mix. It really is. Yeah, good morning, Jessica. Your videos are what are gonna, really kind of build your channel. The lives help you build the community. I see a lot of you. I do videos, and you guys are always commenting. I really do appreciate it. And that all helps. Whenever you get people who thumbs up or down on a video, that's engagement. Commenting, that's engagement. The views really are what get you everything. When you get a lot of views, and I've had several videos where I just get a ton of views. That's really what YouTube is wanting. Because that's where the money is, to be honest. So views are where it's at. Yesterday was a pretty exciting day. I don't know if I caught up on everything with all of the motions in the What the Hales case, and there's a new lawsuit where the Grangers are suing Lynette and Harley Grace. Little Harley Grace dragged into this. I was dragged into this. My mom dragged me in. The woman who calls herself my mom, she's not my real mom. Poor little Harley Grace dragged into this, and it was all BS legislation. Um, should not have it should not have gone that far. They asked for a motion to dismiss. They drug it out. That's what's so funny about the polymop. They're doing exactly what they're accusing Jeremy of doing. Tons of litigation, dragging it out. But we're now getting to a point where, yeah, there's going to start being, there is going to start being uh, repercussions. We're getting to that part right now. In fact, I'm going to put this link up because we're at $1,610, and this is for the Grangers. So we have that link there. Please go and donate to Madam Mayor and Therese as you can with their legal fight. They didn't start this. They did not start this. This was all brought to them by Bubbles and the Fleas and John and Lynette. They didn't start this. But they're going to be the ones to finish it, guaranteed. Since Bruce did not respond as he was supposed to yesterday, will the judge respond to that, or does Randy have to file that? Bruce didn't do what he was supposed to yesterday. So the judge doesn't have to. Speaking of mop, I'm here to clean up our mess on Sunday. People liked what we did on Sunday. TC, that was fun. So because he didn't give a response, the judge now can treat that as if he didn't talk at all. The judge can absolutely do that. So he can be like, okay, we have Randy's motion. And it's like saying, Bruce, what do you have to say? Nothing? Okay. So then he can rule that way. I up, Skipper. What's that supposed to mean, Mandy? Good morning, Jug Glasses. Yeah, the judge can make a ruling as if he didn't even give a response because he didn't give a response. I did have to laugh because the judge said, "Look, stop making motions to dismiss, stop it, summary judgment, all this." And what did Bubbles do? He just kept making those motions. He has not answered the discovery. That's going to be ultimately the death nail in this case. Lawyers can play the lawyer game and act, like pieces of crap. But at the end of the day, if you haven't given any type of discovery, then you're ignoring the court and you haven't proved anything for your client. You guys need to watch the data I'm releasing on the drunk deputy crash. You know what? TC, we need to talk. I want to make you a manager of the Veteran Nation channel so you can also push things, at least like a shorter snippet to to guide people to your channel to watch it. And that's a case. I think that's an important case. And if you want to do more stuff with me on that case, I'm totally down for it. I think that is complete and total BS. And the fact that you came across that one, I love that you're bringing it to people's attention. Bubbles responded to Randy's files, but I fail to understand where is his response and why he should keep Pro Hack Vice. Yeah, he didn't respond to that. He didn't address it. So I as a lawyer, you're supposed to kind of give your argument and then go in front of the judge and argue it impassionately, but you're supposed to put pen to paper. He didn't do that. So he's not a very good attorney. I'll just be honest. He's not a very good attorney. Oh, it's the wrong channel. Um, Where I'm trying to see here. Lady Jen, if you send me the right channel and I'll tag it, I'll put it in there. Absolutely, TC. Absolutely. You're part of the channel, so I want to support you. See, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually kind of been like, no, don't add me as a manager. I got my own stuff to manage. That's what he's done in the past. I'm not up on the what the hell stuff, but if they are not answering Discovery, then they are in trouble. Yes, they failed to. They were supposed to answer Discovery on the 15th. I think it was. It was either the 6th or the 15th. There's so many dates with this that I get confused. But yeah, they were supposed to provide Discovery, and they have not. And all he keeps arguing, he keeps getting mad about is uh, that Jeremy won't give his contracts with the company whatnot. Now, Jeremy's the plaintiff. He's not the defendant. He's the plaintiff. Uh, so like for him to keep getting mad that Jeremy's not doing it, all he has to do is go in front of the judge and say, Judge, they're not giving me this stuff, so I need a court order to do this. And Randy has already said, well, if you do a court order, it's going to be for lawyers only, and there's going to be a non-disclosure attached to it. Essentially. Not he didn't use those exact words, but that's what it means. And rather than go in front of the judge and ask for that, he keeps sending these really rude emails, which are now the basis of uh, asking the judge to deny him his pro hac vice. And if he's denied pro hac vice, he's off the case. And now Lynette and John are without an attorney again. Any new filings this morning? And all I've seen is I got sent to me the Granger's lawsuit this morning. Tug and Megan went over it last night. Go check out their channel. Go watch it. I am not really doing I'm not really putting a lot of the emotions and stuff on camera anymore. Because there's other channels like Georgie and Coop. I'm sure they're probably going to go through it today. Go watch them. I do want people to also watch other stuff. Failure to answer Discovery will result in summary judgment, but not the one they want. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I keep saying. Like they have now given Jeremy Hales and his attorney, Randy the Rocket Shockett, they have now given him full reign to ask for a summary judgment. And I hope, I expect them to. And this is why you don't hire an attorney whose main focus is litigating in social media. It's stupid. It is stupid. And now Jeremy he's got another federal case against all these others. They now have the Grangers are counter. Well, it's not really a countersuit. They dropped uh, Lynette and Harley Grace dropped their lawsuit. So now the Grangers are saying, "Oh, you dropped that. That means we won. Now we're suing you for $50,000 for uh, vexatious litigation." And as they should, which will drag things out longer, give paint chips and PP Wall more slander time. Um, yes and no. It will drag things out to a point, but again, it pretty much what this is going to shorten is John and Jeremy's case against John and Lynette. That one will likely be a summary judgment. Will not go to trial, so that one's going to end very quickly, and then the focus is going to be on the new case. And they let's see, John Lynette. They now have to pay Jeremy's lawyers' fees in Ohio. This case with the Grangers is going to go super fast. Like I would be shocked if that's still going by June. I think they're going to get a couple hearings. Um, yeah, I think they're going to move for a settlement right away. Because John and Lynette are not going to be able to afford a new attorney. So, like, yeah, Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, they're not going to be able to afford a new attorney. So that's going to go super fast because Randy Shockett is just going to run circles around John Lynette. So there's going to be a settlement. They'll get they'll have a thing against them. It'll be a court judgment. So now the money is starting to rack up. So they got lawyers' fees in one. They're probably going to have to pay the Grangers, and then when Jeremy gets a summary judgment, there'll be another one there. And then there's this new case that's not just John Lynette, but it's also the Fleas and um, Making Law Simple, aka David Helm, and Stupid Dave. Who else is it? Ray Bone Crusher? All these YouTubers who wanted to jump in and do stuff. Well, guess what? Now they have to put their money where their mouth is. And John Lynette are gonna they're gonna lose their property. They're gonna lose their property. They're not gonna be able to pay any of these people back. July 1st, their hearing is or Granger's. July 1st is what? Guapo being sued April 1st in Ohio. Yeah, Guapo's another idiot. Lady Jen, the full on redacted edit video. Okay. Oh, tonight's okay. Uh, which one is July 1st? Is that the hearing that's been set for the lawsuit with the Grangers? That's kind of far out for a county court. Yeah, that's very unless if that's a trial date. Um, isn't Paint Chips in trouble in Fort Myers? Don't know. I, I honestly, I don't really pay that guy much attention. He is because of his past of threats and because he is a felon. Um, yeah, I try to stay away from. There's a reason why I never really brought up Robbie on the channel. I talk about the Fleas, but Robbie is a felon. I don't really talk about Paint Chips because he's a felon. I don't want to get into any back and forth with felons because they're dangerous. They're dangerous people. They become very desperate, and desperate people go to desperate measures. 12:30 here. Normally check. Okay. You're fine. You're fine. That's what we're here to do is to ask and answer questions. Yes, Jeremy said yesterday. Oh, okay, okay. So is that the trial date or is that the first hearing? That's far out for a first hearing. I would have expected the first hearing in April. Um, County court, end of April. They filed yesterday or the day before, whenever they filed. Yeah, at least a pretrial conference. Yeah, I would have expected at least that. So that's that's super slow if that's the case. Super, super slow. Um, I'm just pulling open the control room here just so I can monitor stuff. Um, but yeah, that like I I don't think we're gonna see much in terms of. I think the judge is gonna wait until the April 3rd hearing in the federal case to rule on a lot of this stuff. He really doesn't have any reasons to, and it's much more impactful if he rules in person. I get so confused about Bubbles filings because they're not what he's supposed to file, so I can get confused. Oh yeah, yeah, and that is part of his strategy. Part of his strategy is to create confusion. He keeps talking about protected litigation. That's all he does. Motion after motion after motion, and it's like, dude, you're just making this like longer, more hearings. Like, yeah. Good morning, David from London, UK. I was just watching a show about it was called The Real Manhunter. It's about the police in the UK. It was pretty interesting. Uh, I like a lot of true crime shows, and this was, it's interesting to watch those from the UK because I normally watch stuff from the US. So you get a feel for US law, even though it can be different state to state. Yeah, Megan has a few too long didn't read videos of what the hell's case. Yeah, and so does DUI guy. DUI guy has good couple good ones. So go check that one out. Oh, thank you, TC. Thank you for the gifted membership here. Uh,
I like money.
and Karen's Books gets the gifted membership. Congratulations to Karen's Books. Um, April 25th, Russ the Sus has to be in Tallahassee, Florida for his ethics hearing. 13 counts. Yeah. And Jeremy said he's going. Um, that is kind of a nail in the coffin when you have people who've been so victimized they're willing to go. And I think I think Jeremy can be called to talk to the council. So I don't think Russ, I, I think he's going to get fined. I think he's going to be told he can't hold public office for a certain number of years. Um, there were people who were talking jail time and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to ever happen. That's no. Probably rename show for the US audience. I don't think it was Netflix that it was on. But it was just an interesting show. They were showing several cases. I was watching one last night about a woman, Maureen Hale, where her millionaire husband supposedly killed her. I'm poor or I do more. Yeah, we're all poor. Um, I'm waiting. So for my business, I'm trying to do an Amazon on demand store, and I'm waiting to hear back from Amazon. They're just slow walking it. I'm trying to get that passive income going. Because now that I've got this, now that I've got the YouTube going, um, we're getting viewership money. We've got the merchandise. The merchandise completely funds the nonprofit. The viewership money goes into the business because we spent 4 years of like I just on this computer alone, I probably invested $2,000 over that time. So we're kind of like refilling our coffers, um, and that I do with the money from the views, the ad revenue. But it's a good thing because it makes me try to do a better show for you guys. Um, okay, there we go. Man, no one's watching us on Twitter today, but I noticed Twitter wasn't showing the. Normally, it shows a preview, like you see the video of the show. When I looked at it, it was only showing the link. Or are the 99%? Not really, at least here in the US. Um, the poor, like to be truly in poverty here, it's, yeah, like there's even poor people who, because of a lot of our stuff, like there's homeless people here in the US. They're homeless by choice. Like here in California, a lot of them are homeless by choice. They live out of RVs and stuff because, here in California, all the laws are designed to just inflate the costs of property. Like I think if you're over the age of 60, you should not be paying property tax anymore. What if I'm 60, why should I be paying for the local school system? Like the benefits are gone to me. It's just a way to try to keep people paying for something that they've already paid for. Now, I can't understand things like trash. Because I'm 100% disabled veteran, I believe it's my first $170,000 on my house. I don't pay taxes on. But that's because I'm a 100% disabled veteran. Um, and this is why I tell veterans, make a VA claim. Start getting your percentage. And the sad thing is the government incentivizes, um, sorry, I bumped my thing there. Uh, the sad thing is the government incentivizes people putting in claims. They do. Everything is tied to 100% or 50% or these arbitrary rates. Once you get to 100%, you get full benefits. So since I got my 100%, I now don't have to pay property taxes on my first $170,000 of my home. I get free registration on my first car. I can stay at state parks and federal parks essentially for free. It's like super discounted and free. I only pay for certain things. I don't know what the cat's doing. Uh, I'm trying to think what else. So they put all these perks, and they no, you're not coming up here. No, back away. I'm already having technical issues. I don't need you up here. Um, so that's why. And the thing is, veterans who are like, I don't want the disability money. You could actually opt to say, I want to be 100% disabled. I don't want the disability money. You can absolutely do that. Um, but I don't see why I should solely be the only one to get that benefit. The county here, they clearly don't need my tax money. So why don't they, and it's all to incentivize veterans into buying houses, which is actually a good thing because I also can buy a house with no money down. Uh, but they should be doing that for seniors as well. Uh, but it's like because seniors have retirement money and social security money, they chase where the money is. And I'm actually working on a video right now to show legal aid for veterans, how it actually, there's very few places that actually help. There's a lot of places that say they help. Oh yeah, there's a lot. We do legal aid for veterans. Yeah, what they do is they help with disability claims and appeals, but they do charge for that because oh yeah, you'll get it, and then we'll get a portion of the back pay. Which, if that's what you're doing, don't call it legal aid. That's my problem. That I went through a place that helped me get my thing, but at no point did they ever call themselves legal aid. I think advertising themselves as legal aid is predatory. You heard it here, people. We've worked on bettering content last for as mentioned. Honestly, you go back and watch those original interviews, and they were pretty bad. But I do watch my videos. I do, just to see where can I improve. The defendants in the 9 mil lawsuit have by March 28th to respond to being served. Yep, they do. And Felisa, head dummy, she's already said that she's not gonna hire an attorney. Are you stupid? Not. I'll just tell you that, guys. This going into federal court without an attorney is the dumbest thing you can do. Like, and if you haven't paid attention, if they're thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna have Bruce as my attorney, but he's gonna write all my stuff." If you haven't figured it out, Bruce is a freaking moron. Like, he keeps getting denied by this judge because his strategy sucked. He thought this would all be dismissed, and now he's just doing motion after motion to try to get it to that. It's not going to happen. So make sure, here we go. I'm gonna put it in here again. Make sure to give money to the Grangers if you would, please. Let me refresh this. I love how people who say I've got no content then rush. They rush to read the motions. I'll read the motions if Georgie and Coop invite me on, but doing them alone anymore, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just kind of like, nah, I'll let these other go watch Shizzy, go watch Georgie, go watch Coop. They're gonna do it. They do great with it. Go watch them. Um, I'm not chasing the views. Um, and I laugh because yeah, the people who accuse me of doing that are the ones doing that. Not I'm not saying anything bad about those guys that I mentioned. Those are the good ones. I was in fact Yamaha Biker. It was really funny on Shizzy the other night. You need to watch that. I was able to buy a house with no money down over 10 years. I had to come to the table with only $600 and I was on disability here in Michigan. It's still possible, Janet. I know all these people are like, you can't find a house. It's crazy. Show me a market. Show me a market. I've done this with several people. Show me a market and I can find a house. Now, is it going to be, it'll be a starter home. And I've had people be like, well, that's in the ghetto. It's like, what do you think a starter home is? Like a starter home is not, the 4 bedroom, 2 bath in the suburbs. No, like my parents started in a trailer park, and that was in the 70s, the early 70s. And then, they my dad, you know, improved in his job, and we moved to a very working class neighborhood, and he kept improving in his job. And after like 12 years, then we moved to the suburbs, and he again kept working, finally retired, and now he's got a lake home. That's how that goes. You're That's why homes in this country are still the biggest investment, and being a veteran is huge. In fact, if you're a veteran and you've owned a home for, let's say, 5 years, you should be looking right now to, uh, you should be watching these um, things so that you can refinance and buy another home as investment property. 100%. That's what you should be doing, because it's ways to build wealth, and you're using debt to make money. Got to bounce people. Head here to watch. Yep. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. It's If you go on YouTube just to do a search, it's MBRR podcast, or you can look up Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. Good morning, Darlene. Uh, like here, like there's a young girl here that she's a single mom. She's like 23 years old, and uh about a year ago she was like, look, you seem to have your head on right, and I'm doing these things, but it's hard to get it's hard to get ahead. And she was kind of asking me for advice, and I said, look, Rome wasn't built in a day. You got to start with little stuff. So we were getting her, because she really didn't have any credit. So then we started establishing her and getting her credit, and now she has a credit score, decent one. Um, you know, she like a lot of these young people. She was doing these online banking, and I was like, yeah, no, fine. Let's get you into a decent bank. So we got her into essentially credit union. Um, so now she has that. Now she's to the point. She's looking, and I was like, look, um, you don't need money in this area. You don't need money to have as a down payment to buy a place. I go, quite literally, we are a rural area. The FHA gives interest free, or not interest free, but no money down home loans. I was like, so you now have a credit score. She does have a little bit of savings, has money coming in. And I'm like, okay, now you can actually go and buy this stuff. Um, and I've encouraged her. I'm like, look, out here you can get a decent home. A lot of them are older, um, but you can get a home with like a casita. And I'm like, look, Airbnb that out or find a renter for that. I go, because if you can, the biggest housing costs, biggest cost that people have is their housing. Most people, average American. So if you can find a way for your housing to be paid for or actually make money off it, you're ahead of about 90% of the Americans. And that's what you should be looking at. I bought this house specifically because I was like, okay, I'm gonna eventually buy another house and rent this one out. This is a perfect house for a young Marine family who want to move out here. That's exactly when I like it's a little bit small for me and my son. I went from a 3 bedroom to this one's a 2 bedroom. It's a little bit small for us, but we can do it. But I was renting, now I own, and the whole part of this is to, you know, generationally, start building wealth. Jeremy said real estate to build your security. Absolutely. And I knew that going into that interview, but listening to him and how he tackled stuff, it was really not just eye opening, but like it made a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Oh, you just subscribed? Yeah, TC is great. TC is great. Thank you for subscribing to him. And you know what? I'm going to give a shout out as well to Daniel. Daniel's great, and he's now over 300 subscribers. I'm pulling up his channel. Yeah, he is great. So he's up to 321 subs. I know he's not here right now, but I do want people to. He's one of these guys. He does a lot of lives, but he's actually pretty knowledgeable about computers. And I've encouraged him to do more videos because videos really are like when you're doing YouTube, videos really are where the money's at. And I know a lot of people are probably like, Skipper, you're not getting a lot of views on your videos. Like I did the one the other day, it had 200 views. The one yesterday, I think I got 300 views on. But when I do a live, I'll get 1,000 views. And that's very common for me to get 1,000 views on a live. But the thing is, those views come within the 48 hours of when I do the live. And then I'll never get any more views on that. But those videos will keep growing over time, um, and keep building me more and more of an audience and bring me in more and more um, views. So, like when I go into my analytics, if I do a video and it gets 500 views right off the top, this one's probably just judging by the people here. When I end this live, I'll probably have about 400 views. Um, and then it'll gain more throughout the day. It will, because people just can't watch me live. But it's time sensitive content. Next week, no one's going to care about this view, or is going to care about this live. But they will still be watching those other videos. So when I look at my live analytics, I'll get 400 views from this, but I'll probably get another 200 from all my other videos because people are still finding those and watching them. So that's 600 views in a day, like very quickly. And 200 of those views, I've already done the work for. I didn't have to do anything else. So that's why I'm kind of doing things a little bit differently, and you're seeing uh, an array of different content from me. Um, and there's some things that I kind of moved away from that I need to get back to doing. Um, for instance, when I do the map videos, those get a ton of views, a ton of views. And I just haven't done it. I got to do one. I'm gonna do an international one here. So and that's just how I'm doing things. I'm not chasing while other people are chasing the what the hell's views. I'm not. I'll still be doing the case. I'll still be talking about it, but yeah, I'm not chasing it for views right now. Don't need to. And you see that like with Georgie. What here? I want to look. I want to see what Georgie's sub count is up to. She's now over 1,300 subscribers. It was what, a month and a half ago that we got her over 1,000 and fully monetized. And now she's done 30% better than that. That is, that shows you like she's doing the right things. And some of these Tug talked about it. Some of these people, like Ray Bone Crusher, he got a shout out from Larry about the whole Grudge Judge things, and he got 10,000 subs, right off the bat. He's now down to let's see. I know he's in the 8,000s. Let's see where he's at. So he's now down to 8,300. And he's now lost over 1,700 subscribers in a year from that, because he hasn't had to really work on his content. He just got all these subscribers and then started going on turning against Jeremy, which he was never really for Jeremy. But yeah, he lost all those subscribers. The 13 or 1,700 subscribers when at a 10,000 account, that's over 10% of your audience that you've lost. That's a big chunk. So you got to think what that tells YouTube. That tells YouTube this is a shrinking channel. People don't like this. Don't promote it. Georgie's gained 30%. So it's telling, they're telling Georgie, keep growing your content. That's so it's really interesting and kind of funny. And yeah, some of these people, Skipper doesn't have any other content any other than the hails. You sure about that? Because I'm gaining views when you're not. And that's the good thing about videos. A lot of these videos I'm doing, they're constantly gaining me views. And yeah, that's why I'm very comfortable with my sub count. We're still growing, and that's fine. We're still growing. I'm still getting views, so I know YouTube. I know for a fact YouTube is putting my stuff out there, because I've had comments and stuff from people coming right at me saying, "Hey, I just found you. Can he actually file for attorney's fees on Amanda's depot when he wasn't her lawyer and didn't he already get denied fees?" Yes, you're right. He cannot. He can file for it, but he's not going to get it. I would be shocked if he got attorney's fees. Like if I were Randy, well, Randy's going to do a response, and he's going to say he's not her lawyer. He didn't have to be there. He chose to be there. He didn't have to be involved. He chose to be involved. So what does he need? There was nothing in that filing I saw that he needed fees for. He was unhappy as to how Amanda was treated. Well, guess what? Randy's going to say she could have brought her own attorney and chose not to. Instead, he acted improperly and was trying to act as her attorney. And he shouldn't get fees. He should be sanctioned for that. So I think that's what you're going to see. And again, I don't think we're going to get any answers until April 3rd. Yeah, I have quite a bit of content without the hails. As me and TC, we've been doing this. Well, I've been doing this for 4 years. TC's been doing it for 3. Yeah. Oh wow, we have our anniversary coming up. I started this show in June of 2020, and yeah, it's coming up quick. Amanda, the witness. Yeah, Cat, get the hell out of here. There's other windows for you to look out. You're knocking my stuff around. Get out of here. Yeah, and because she was a victim advocate at the time, and that's what the deposition was over. I think she could have asked for a attorney from the county. I'm not 100%, but that would make sense if since they were asking about things that happened in the course of her duties. And it would have been smart for the county to provide an attorney, but I mean, Levy County doesn't really do things smart. And Jeremy has a definitive lawsuit against uh, against Levy County. I'm still planning out that video too. Amanda is useless. uh, I mean, she's not. I wouldn't say that she's the brightest bulb in the box. I'm looking. I'm going to start wrapping things up here in a minute. I'm looking to see who should we redirect to. Uh, oh, I'm in the wrong area. No wonder why. There we go. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to redirect you guys to Orphan Kitten Rescue. They're big supporters, and I do like watching their stream. So there we go. We got our redirect set up. Bruce cannot get attorney's fees if not her lawyer. Yeah, like that was a really stupid filing, really stupid, because he can actually be attacked more for it than he can get anything for it, and I think he's going to get attacked for it. I think he absolutely will. Excuse me. 11 Georgie. BBB is just, well, he's just dumb. He's just not the world's smartest attorney. He's got a stupid strategy. Yeah, I think he does have an attorney to represent him now. I think I did see that. I do know he was looking. He was searching. Hope everyone has a great day or night, depending on. We do know that David Helm, aka Making Law Simple, he's got an attorney. It's not a federal attorney. It's not a guy that specializes in this type of litigation. That tells me he went to a friend, a colleague, someone that he has a relationship with. And a lot of attorneys do that, and he's probably getting a discount. And what's funny about that is I've heard many attorneys talk about how attorneys are the worst clients because they're always second guessing what you're doing. They're very critical because, well, I'm an expert. Well, it's like, yeah, but you're not the one arguing the case. You're the defendant. Um, is it true that if the flea and others do not respond, then Jeremy wins by default? Uh, Potentially, yes. If they do not respond, he can then move for a summary judgment and be like, "Look, we provided these facts to the court. They are not responding, so our facts are not in dispute." Just like with, uh, hey Georgie. So just like with the move for summary judgment, that's exactly what they're going to say. Is um, like our facts are not in dispute. Bruce did not provide discovery. So now he can't bring facts. He didn't provide discovery. He can't bring facts. So now we want, like, I would imagine that they're not going to immediately go for a summary judgment. I think there's things that Jeremy and Randy want for future lawsuits. And since this one's going, I think they're going to say, okay, we want subpoenas for these things. They didn't provide it in discovery. We want it now. Give us the subpoena, so like the phone records and the Jeep records. I think they're going to get a subpoena to go to those places themselves, since they went to Bubbles and Lynette. They didn't get them, so now they're going to be able to go directly to Jeep or directly to T-Mobile or whoever she had as a carrier and get those things themselves. And they're going to be able to say, they didn't provide discovery. We found all these things. the court has to, this is now on the merits. You have to rule in our favor because none of our complaints are in disagreement. Like they could have disagreed and said, that's not true, it's this. But they didn't provide anything. So you have to agree that it's what we said is true and move for a summary judgment. That is, well, default judgment is essentially the same. Yeah. Default judgment means no one showed, no one came to court at all. But with Bubbles and John in the first case, it's a summary judgment. For if they don't show for the federal case, yeah, it'll be a default judgment. So like if Lisa doesn't show, the Robbie, any of them, yeah, it'll be a default judgment. Which is very stupid because Jeremy put some pretty high dollar amounts on stuff. And if they don't, like, really, you're not gonna take out $10,000 for an attorney and you're potentially gonna lose 250, 300. Like, really? Randy just needs to methodically lay out the case. Oh yeah, and he's been doing that. Randy has absolutely been doing that. Good morning, Dwayne. Yeah, no. I was talking about the first Fed case. They mentioned if they don't show, and I was showing a comparison. Yeah, a default judgment in one, a summary judgment. They're essentially the same thing. They're just called different things because there's different circumstances. But there's still a judgment in Jeremy's favor, where all of Jeremy's facts that he's provided to the court are taken as what do they call it? Well brought. Good morning, Coop. I've been so busy at the office. Hey, Megan Fox. Yeah, I was actually telling people to go watch you and Tug last night going over the Grangers. Um, that was I was listening last night. I wasn't commenting because I was doing stuff around my house, but I was listening and it was crazy. And yeah, that's so I think a summary judgment in the first case is coming. Anyone who doesn't show to the second case, look for a default judgment. I don't think John Lynette are gonna respond to the Grangers. Um, we're gonna go over the Ohio case documents. I'm still like I couldn't call yesterday, but I still need to find. They gave me all of John's stuff, and we're like, here you go, public records request. Here you go. I don't have Lynette's stuff, and I don't think it's sealed. Um, even though I believe the attorney only appeared for her. But I'm still trying to get those documents, and we're gonna go through them. It's pretty interesting because things that the fleas have said are absolutely wrong, and we're gonna show that when we show the civil protection order. Uh, yeah, me, Georgie, and Coop are gonna go over that. Um, and then other things I've got going. I've got another video about people who are enlisted. Um, I've got that. I've got one about Trump about ready to come out. Trump has been masterful in his lawsuits. It's been funny because already with one lawsuit that Trump did, what I said was I was like, this is good, and it's already happened. Um, Trump definitely learned from his first trial. Yeah, yeah, those too long didn't read. I I just have so much up in the air. I do have to go to Florida in June. I will be in Florida in June. And if there's still any of these cases going on, I'll have to drive because I'll be in the northeast coast. So I'll have to drive to the other parts of Florida to go do stuff on them. But I'm gonna be there in June. I'm trying to see if I can, even if I can just get outside of the courtroom like for April 3rd. If I can swing April 3rd, I will try to go and just be outside the courtroom waiting for things to happen. Maybe I'll get an interview with Bubbles or Jeremy. Uh, but I love doing that. And that's what uh, TC with this cop up in Minnesota. He's like, I'm like, dude, keep covering it. And he's like, well, I can't be in the courtroom. I can't film in the courtroom. I'm like, that's fine. Give us updates after the court hearing outside the courtroom. That's what every place does. That's why I was a little bit mad that the whole Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds thing is going in New York. I was unless if they switch it, if it was here in California, oh, I would drive to LA. It's 2 hours for me. I can drive to LA, no problem. But I would love to cover outside of the court as to what I'm seeing. Um, and I know Tug is. I don't, Megan. I don't know if you're covering that story. I know Tug is. Um, but yeah, if that were happening out here, and if there's any things here, I will definitely drive and do stuff. I was gonna do the same thing for Alec Baldwin, but that one got squashed so quickly. How, Alec Baldwin and his wife. Don't know if you guys saw how unlikable his wife is. So first off, she's from Connecticut, but yet she went to Spain and lived in Spain for a couple years. So now she talks with a Spanish accent, which is so annoying. And she's also the most likable. How can you have killed a woman and you're not even the most unlikable person in your family? I'll have to do some things on that and show her because they are just horrible, horrible people. How Alec Baldwin he's assaulted. I remember he assaulted a guy on a plane. He assaulted a journalist. We saw, what was it, last month or the month before? He assaulted that comedian who was dressed as Trump. Or no, he threatened the comedian. That's what he did. When is he gonna? When is he gonna get his comeuppance? It's gonna happen because he has not learned, and he's lucky I don't live anywhere near him. I would be around him. I'd be like straight paparazzi around him. Hilaria is, yeah, her name is Hillary, but she goes by, I am Hilaria. Hilaria. She is like at the Baldwins. It's This is my wife, Hilaria. And she's like, Alec, do not talk about me. Do not talk about me. I am talking, you be quiet.
No, no.
It is hilarious that I have not watched their show. I should watch their show just for this. Um, I do want to get into a show where we can do like one night a week watch parties and just like come do the reaction. For me, I love Love After Lockup, but I'm not on the current season. I watched the old ones. Um, Alec Baldwin is a ticking time bomb. Yeah, oh yeah, he is. Well, guys, I'm looking at the time. It's 7:15 right now. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Thank you guys all for being here. Go to the Granger's Legal Fund, um, and definitely, if you can, give them give them some love because they didn't ask for this whole thing with the lawsuits. They're just dealing with it. Um, so there's that. Again, I'm the one who set up this fundraiser. All the money is going to go to the Grangers. We're at 1610 right now. The goal is 2,500. So we're very close to the goal. We're over halfway there. So yeah, if you're so blessed, please go give them just a couple bucks or share it. If you can't give, definitely share. That helps us out quite a bit. And I'm gonna get going. Uh, I might, if I can swing on jumping on with Georgie and Coop. I got my morning meeting goes at 8, which is right when they go. Uh, so if I can swing it, I will be there. I'm redirecting you guys to Orphan Kitten Rescue. So go watch the kittens for a little bit, give them some love, give them a like, and let them know that Veteran Nation is rating them. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.